What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the next video in learning Laravel. My name is QDS Dani and you guys are watching my channel Wood. Alright, as we said in the previous video that in this video we're gonna show you guys what is middleware. Alright, so in the previous video we have seen how to create a controller, and we have created the student controller. In this video we're going to see the middleware, and as you guys going to see here, first thing first, you guys go ahead and navigate your folders, and you go all the way to Laravel, and you go to your Laravel folder, and you go ahead and type PHP artisan serve to start your Laravel. So once your Laravel fired up, and we're going to go here to check the Laravel's up and running. So now we're going to put it out of the way, and we're going to see what is middleware. As we've seen here in the previous video, that was route names. So the middleware sits between the request which the user of our application sends, and the response our application's server responds. So the middleware sits here. What's the role of the middleware? Middleware authenticate. The job is of the middleware when the user is trying to log in. Middleware checks for security if the users are the users to claim that he or she is, and there is a role if the user is manager, or say CEO, or working the company, or the users, say for example manager, or if the users have authority. So the first one is the creator of the website, as we said in the previous video, the role number one. The role number two is for the, say for example, chief executive officer. The third one is going to be all the higher manager. The fourth one is going to be just a normal manager. That's, I'm talking about the big businesses, like a huge enterprise business. But for a small business, if you guys create a small app and you're the CEO, you're going to be the only one. So you're going to have the only role of the CEO. If your business grown up and you hire someone else as your partner or something, then you're going to assign the role number two. So that's going to be the role of the managerial. So if you look in here of the controller, we have all the controllers, and if you're looking further down, we have middleware, and we have authenticate, and we have encrypt cookies, and prevent request during maintenance. As we said initially in the beginning of this course, that if you guys doing something to your app or your website, then make sure you guys put it on maintenance. And this middleware gonna sit here while your application's in the maintenance mode. This is not gonna let anyone make a request, so it's going to prevent a request, because it's not going to it prevents all the hackers and malicious people to access your app while it's in maintenance mode. So now you guys should have a little bit of idea what middleware is, because of all this security related. We verify CSRF token, and trust proxies, trust host, trim strings, because you don't want a different string, you want to trim all the white spaces from the string. So that's the middleware. And now how we're going to create our middleware. Alright, so to create a middleware, this is the same process as creating a controller, but when you create controller, it comes in this folder. When you create a middleware, it comes in the middleware folder. And make sure we're gonna register our middleware. We don't have to register our controller, but we have to register our middleware. Two types of the middleware in Laravel. The first one is the global one. If you put in here, all throughout your applications, you're gonna have access to this global one. It means that's a global one. And if you look in here, this middleware are run during request to your application. It means that's the your whole application. And we are not interested in that one, because you're just learning, and we're gonna come and register our middleware here in the route middleware. So the route middleware is responsible here, is responsible for that. Then we need to register our middlewares, which is here to here. Okay, how do we gonna do that? So we're gonna come here, or you guys can press Control C to get out. Or there is another way, to shortcut ways. If you want to do it all the time, you guys gonna go ahead and just click on command prompt. So once you click on a command prompt, you guys go open another one, just to create your middlewares, and just to create your say controllers. Alright, so now that one looks a bit because I'm gonna make here The first one is here, that's our Laravel is running. The second one is here. So you guys navigate your folder, Laravel folder. So we're gonna put a CD to go back, and CD to go back, and CD we put a WAMP 64. If you have a XAMPP, you can put your XAMPP folder, and WAMP 64. Then we're gonna go www, that's our folder. Then we're gonna go on Laravel, which is another folder, and that's our root folder is first Laravel. Alright, so here we are at the first Laravel, and the first Laravel we are what we're gonna do in the first Laravel to create our middleware. It's the same as you guys gonna come here and Control C to get out, and then you guys gonna back PHP artisan serve to start it back again. So but we are not going to do that because we are programmers, and programmers are lazy people, because we don't want to do that. We want to make it automate the process. So how we're going to do that? We're going to put a PHP artisan make. So we will put a PHP, we put a artisan, and we're going to make middleware. And what's the name of our middleware? For example, we can put a manager middleware. So that's the name of our middleware, the manager middleware, and that's how you guys going to do it. PHP artisan make colon middleware manager middleware, because we are going to assign a role. And then you guys press enter, and once you press enter, our middleware has been created. So the middleware created successfully, and we can look at here. That's our manager middleware. So that's one we are just created. And if you look in here, that's our middleware has been created successfully. All right. So now in the middleware, you guys gonna come here, and you can put a role, or you can put a manager, for example, manager, our manager role, for example, and we can put a say echo, and we put the role or authority, the role of the manager is, for example, the title of the manager is, the title of the manager is, and then you can make it the manager here, and then you close it. If you want to make say for example nicer, you can put a say another concatenation here, and you can wrap it with the tag, which is going to be the h2, for example, and you can put another concatenation here. There is another one tag here, and these tags are from markup HTML, so we can put a h2 here. So the title of the manager is, and then there is a manager, and we have increased one more. So we can do that with our manager middleware. Whatever you guys going to create, because that's our own, we can do whatever we want, just like a controller. Okay, so if you guys hit a Control S to save it, and if you look in here, we have a namespace. Now the second step is for us to go and register our middleware in the kernel. So if you guys are going to copy this one, app http middleware, the namespace, because we're going to come here in the route namespace, and we're going to put it here. So the first one is going to be manager. Our you can put a title, or you can put whatever you want, say and then double arrow operator, and you guys can paste here your namespace, and here you just put a backslash here, because if you look in here, all our apps have a backslashes, and then you're gonna put a backslash, then you put the name of your class, which is gonna be the manager middleware. So that's how it goes in the manager middleware. If you paste it and put a true colon, which is scope resolution operator, followed by class. Now it's done. So now we have successfully registered here our manager, and once we look at put this one in our controller and into our view, then we can see the manager, the role of the manager. Okay, so here now here we have successfully put our manager here. You can put a manager authority, manager title, whatever you want here, but we just put a manager at the moment, so for you guys to understand. Okay, so we're gonna come here and we put a route and we're gonna put a get. So we put a route and put a scope resolution operator, we put a get, and what's gonna be, it's gonna be, say for example, we're gonna put a manager, for example, or we can put a company, for example. We put a company, and here we can put our controller. And what's the controller? Then we want to put a manager controller, manager controller. Okay, and then we can put a at index, for example. Okay, so now we're going to create this manager controller, and we're going to come back here, and same as here, we're going to have to create a PHP artisan make. We put a controller and we paste. So my hand touch it. I'm going to do it again. Artisan make. We put a controller and we copy paste manager controller. So where is this manager controller came from? That came from here, because it doesn't matter if you type it there or type it here before, vice versa, it doesn't matter, it's as long as you guys create it. So we don't have a manager controller at the moment. So if you're gonna come here and press enter, and my enter is not working, I'm gonna press again, and the manager controller has been created. If you look in here, we have a manager controller and we have a index here, so we need to create index. So we put a public function and we put an index. Okay, and then you can echo or return whatever you want to do. Say for echo, this is coming from manager controller. Manager controller. Okay, so we're going to see which ones Laravel is going to render first. We're going to render this one first, or this one first, because if the Laravel renders this one first, then we're going to see this message, our middleware first. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit changes here for us to see, as we can do in our array. We can put it like this here as array. So here you guys need to create your bracket, and here you guys gonna put a, we can put as our here you guys can put your middleware. And what's the middleware? The middleware was manager, if you're gonna see here, and the kernel we put a manager here. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna put a middleware as a manager. And you can put a title, for example, you can put a title of CEO, our officer, chief executive officer. So now we have a company and we have a middleware, and you can put your uses followed by arrow operator, and then we can copy this one, our controller, and we can put it here. Very easy. Now our application has a manager, has a middleware, and here now we're going to decide which title to assign. Say for example, the first one we're going to assign the CEO, then we're going to assign the manager, director, whatever you guys want to assign. So that's how we're going to go. So if you type company, then we're going to see the manager, then we're going to see the message from this guys here, from the middleware and from the controller. And keep in mind that we already registered here, so we're gonna save all, and now we're gonna go and run. So we're gonna put in our route, we're gonna check, we have a company. So we have a company and we're gonna try company first. If company is not going to work, we put a manager. So we put a company, and the manager does not exist. Now we put a company. Say for example, we put a manager. We put a manager, and we're gonna try again. So here we put a manager. So we want to see why it's not working. Also, how about if you put a manager uppercase? So we're going to put an uppercase, and it's working. So the title of the manager is, and we're going to see the CEO, and coming this is coming from the manager controller. So as you guys are going to see, the title of the manager is the CEO. This is coming from our middleware. So the middleware kicks in, and we're going to put the title of the company manager is, and then you put a company manager, and now we have put it this one, registered this one with the kernel. So the kernel now remembers this one, and now we're going to put it here as a manager, and our manager is CEO. We have assigned a CEO. Then you can put a director, you can put whatever you want to put it. So that's how this one work. And the second one, which is concerned, is because the Laravel is going to check first, going to come at the route. When it confronted this one, the manager, then it's going to look for the controller, and then it's going to check for the middleware. It's going to check the middleware. Where is the middleware? Okay, the middleware is already here, and the Laravel is going to check if the middleware is registered. It's going to say yep, it's registered with the route. It's already registered. We have registered with the route, and it's going to look for the controller. Then we look at the controller, and the controller comes in. So that's how the middleware works in the Laravel. And if you look in here, that we have a manager, and the manager is going to be like we have put a title manager. The title of the manager, or the manager title, is CEO, and this is coming from the manager controller. And it's going to see here the second message is going to come from the manager controller. So that's how the middleware works in the Laravel. As you guys are going to see here, that every time you guys needs to create your middleware, you guys needs to come here and create it this way. So you put a PHP artisan make middleware manager middleware. If you want to create your controller, you can put a manager controller. And as I said, that the manager sits between the request and response, and manager's job is to look for the authentication. If the users already authenticated, if there is no security issues with your program, if the user's ID is okay, and we can assign roles for managers. When you guys going to get experience, then you guys, when you create your e-commerce applications, then you're going to see the roles. How role is very important for your applications, because you guys needs to create a hierarchy of roles. Say for example, if the role number one, say if role manager role, if you assign title, if the title is for example CEO, then role is for example 1. So if the title is going to go, for example, if you copy this one, say for example, if you can come here, if the title is for example director, then the role is going to be 2. And provided which privilege they have, if they can edit, they can update, they can delete whatever they want, because the role number 1 and 2 is very important. Then we're going to go wise, then we're going to go 1 2 3 4 5 all the way to whatever managers you guys have. So that's the role of the middleware. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to CryWood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.